Okay, morning, folks, and welcome to the Lasham gliding briefing on the 10th of June. Bit of change from the last couple of days, slightly cooler in the morning. We're now, just for a little bit, in a sort of slightly moister southwesterly flow. As you can see that, the chart here, the fronts have got a little bit closer, sort of air masses coming in from the sort of southwest here, slightly damp. It will burn off today. I think it'll get a little bit better, but it'll take time to get going. If this was the middle of winter, we'd write the day off, but not today. It will brighten up, will cheer up. These fronts aren't really coming towards us. They're sliding over Ireland and northeast, and even tomorrow it's not quite got to us by midday. And then as the weekend goes on, the high pressure down here starts to reassert itself over us, and it's looking quite good for Saturday and Sunday. So what do we got in terms of the general forecast? Farnborough TAF tells us that it's 237 knots all day. 10k viz overcast at 400 feet, while Farnborough's 400 feet lower than us. So what it means, we're probably sat just in the cloud or slightly below it, but becoming sometime between now and 10 o'clock, I suspect it might be a little bit later than 10 o'clock, lifting to scattered at 2,000 feet and a 30% probability. First thing in the morning, reduced visibility. It'll take a little while, but this cloud I can see here is going to slowly lift as the morning goes on, and then at some point it will get flyable. Upper winds, again, southwesterly, 220, 15 here, slightly further to the south, 240, 10. So we're probably 230, 10 to 15 knots on the upper winds. I think it sort of says today, we'll have a look at when we get out there, but I suspect it's going to be 2-3 operation. Sat pick shows fairly cloudy, solid out to the west of the UK. Breaks beginning to appear here, and I think that'll open out slowly as the morning goes on and things start to rise. And temperature goes up quite nicely once we see a bit of sun. And this afternoon, we're probably going to see 21 degrees. Not quite as warm as yesterday, maybe 22. We're lucky. Feel a little bit more humid because the dew points are higher than yesterday. So it will feel a bit sticky, I think, come the afternoon. So slightly higher humidity. And looking at the soaring forecast, obviously not as promising as the last couple of days. That's the predicted ascent over us. You can see these lines close together here, giving the cloud, starting off probably at a few hundred feet. And then by 12 o'clock, it's starting to rise. So cloud base at that point could be 2,000 feet. Still quite solid lines here. So there will be quite a lot of cloud in this area here. And then by the afternoon, getting a little bit better. I think if we're optimistic, we might see 2,500 feet, but not a fantastic soaring forecast. You'd want to see this on a reasonable soaring day, 1,000 feet higher, and the lines a little bit further apart. Haven't looked at the actual Larkhill because that'll just show cloud and not give us a true representation of really what's going to happen. So this is Top Meteo's interpretation. That's 11 o'clock. These yellow bits means cloud sub 500 feet. And this was updated fairly recently. So by 12 o'clock, getting better, breaking up, we're seeing cumulus, to say probably 2,000 feet at best till the afternoon. And then a chance of some soaring, I think, in the afternoon, but not clearly a great cross-country day. Thermal tops according to Top Meteo. Around Lasham, 700 to 900 meters, so 2,500 feet at best. Out to the west, where the cloud is a bit thicker, probably still drizzly bits coming out of the clouds, a little bit like we had this morning here about half an hour ago. So improving, flyable by mid to late morning, folks, but not a great soaring day in prospect. And as you can guess, the suggested distance for today is not very far, and if anywhere, it's out towards Farnborough, then London, which obviously is a non-starter. Tomorrow, breezy southwesterly, perhaps a little bit better, but a front lying across this part of the country. And then Saturday, looking very good. That hasn't changed too much. Hopefully we'll have a look at that again tomorrow. Fingers crossed it will stay the same. So we should have a good weekend. Right, going flying, we need to know about airspace and airfield operations. Well, airspace locally. The danger areas at Salisbury Plain at the eastern end are being activated. That's actually tomorrow. Don't need to worry about that one, but it's this one here. Between 1700 and 1900, the Everley danger area is activated up to 9,000 feet. Bit of bizarre timing on that. And the temporary danger area for the UAVs is active again today. That seems to be a permanent feature now. They just NOTAM it every day. It'll be interesting to find out how many times they actually do use it. Little Rissington, they've got parachuting from 1700 onwards till after midnight. And that really is about it in this area here. Operationally, I think we're probably going to be on 2-3. We'll take a look at the wind when we actually start to set up a little bit later this morning. There is two things to note. Jet departure. I was initially notified yesterday that it would be 9 o'clock, but the flight plan now says 11 o'clock. They're doing an engine run on the runway till 9:30, so I assume it's probably going to be around about 11 o'clock the jet departs. And sometime between 9:45 and 10:30, there's a BA 146 doing low-level Met research runs to the west of the airfield. It's done 2 of those already in the last few weeks. I think with the visibility at the moment, if it is at 10 o'clock, we probably won't even see it. But they do 4 runs out to the west of the airfield at 500 feet. So something to look out for. Apart from that, should be fairly quiet today, folks. And look forward to seeing you out there when we get flying.